Hello students, today I am going to start a new chapter of physical education and the name of the chapter is circulatory system, that is chapter number 4. So what is a circulatory system? There are two type of movements, internal and external. External movement we can see, that is performed by our skeletal system and that is visible, but the internal movement that is not visible. Internal movement that is occur with the help of blood. Suppose there is transport of nutrients, transport of oxygen, carbon dioxide, that all occur with the help of circulatory system. And circulatory system that is also called as cardiovascular system or vascular system. So this cardiovascular system, it consists of heart, blood vessels like arteries, capillaries, and heart has 4 chambers, 2 auricles and 2 ventricles, and also there are 2 valves that are present in heart. Between the left auricle and left ventricle there is valve known as mitral or bicuspid valve, and between the right auricle and right ventricle there is valve known as tricuspid valve, and there are blood vessels like arteries and capillaries. So this is all about the circulatory system. Now next, that is the mechanism of blood circulation, that how blood that is transported, blood that transport the deoxygenated or oxygenated blood. So in this there are 2 loops, systemic and pulmonary. Systemic loop, in this loop there is transport of blood into the body, and in pulmonary loop there is transport of blood to and from the lungs. So here start with the systemic loop. What happens in the systemic loop? First of all, oxygenated blood that goes to the left auricle, and from left auricle that moves into the left ventricle. When the valve that is open, that blood that is transported to the left ventricle. Then after the left ventricle, it transported the blood into the aorta, and through the arteries and capillaries this blood that transport to whole of the body. Now here in this slide you can see how blood that is transported from one body part to another body part. So when blood that reach into the body, it gets impure, and with the help of superior vena cava and inferior vena cava, deoxygenated blood that reaches to the heart that is in the right chamber, right auricle. Then from the right auricle that reaches into the right ventricle. After right ventricle it moves to the pulmonary arteries, and pulmonary arteries that moves to the respective lungs, both of the lungs, and then they transport the deoxygenated blood into the lungs. Then the cycle get repeated again and again. So this is the mechanism of blood circulation. Now next, that is the important terms. So here are important terms: heart rate, stroke volume, cardiac output and blood pressure. So first of all, what is heart rate? Heart rate, that is the number of contractions by heart in 1 minute, that is known as heart rate, and it is about 72 times per minute. Now second one, that is the stroke volume. So what is stroke volume? It is related to the volume of the blood. So it is a volume of blood pumped out by heart in one beat, and it is approximately 80 ml per beat. Now the third one, that is the cardiac output. So what is cardiac output? Cardiac output, that is the amount of blood pumped by the heart in 1 minute, and it is 5 to 6 liters at basal level. And cardiac output, that is the multiplication of stroke volume and heart rate. Now last one, that is the blood pressure. So what is blood pressure? Blood pressure means the pressure exerted by the blood on the walls of the blood vessels, and it is of 2 types, systolic and diastolic. Systolic, that is the upper or higher pressure of the blood exerted on the walls of blood vessel, and it is about 120 mm per Hg in normal adult. Second one, that is a diastolic, and diastolic means the lower pressure of blood exerted on the walls of blood vessels, and it is about 80 mm per Hg in normal adult. So these are the important terms. Now the next one, that blood. So what is blood? Blood, that is a special kind of fluid which act as a medium of transportation of nutrients and gases in our body. Now it also acts as a means of communication by conveying chemical messages to various organs. Now next one, that what is the composition of blood, how that blood is making. So blood, the constituents of blood are plasma, WBCs, RBCs, leukocytes, thrombocytes and platelets. So it is the composition of blood. Now here is one topic more related to the blood, that is blood grouping and blood transfusion. So you all know that there are 4 blood groups, and the blood groups are AB, A, B and O. So here in blood group AB there is antigen A and B. In A blood group there is antigen A. In B blood group there is antigen B, and in case of O there is no antigen. Then come to the antibodies. So in AB there is no antibodies. In case of A there is B antibody, in case of B blood group there is A antibody, and in case of O there are both of the antibodies A and B. Now see who can give blood to and who can receive blood from. So first, that is AB blood group, that can give blood to AB and can receive blood from all AB, A, B and O. So AB, that is also known as universal recipient. The next one, that is A, and it can give blood to A and AB and can receive blood from A and O. The next one, that is B. So B, that can give blood to B and AB and can receive blood from B and O. The last one, that is the O blood group, and it can give blood to AB, AB and O. So that's why it is called as universal donor, but can receive blood from only their own blood group, that is O. So this is all about the blood groups. Now next, that is the blood transfusion. So what is blood transfusion? It means the transfer of blood from healthy person to another person. Now next, that is the effects of exercise on circulatory system. What are the different effects of exercise on circulatory system? So first one, that is the hypertrophy of heart, means due to regular exercise there is enlargement of heart. Now the second one, that is the due to regular exercise there is resting pulse time, that also increases. Then there is faster adaptation to working load. Then it also improves the hemoglobin composition. Now next, that is the we can regulate our blood pressure due to regular exercise. With the help of exercise, new capillaries these are formed. Then there is faster healing, reduction in cardiac problems also, and we can improve our cardiorespiratory system. Then here are also we can decrease the blood viscosity due to regular exercise, pulse that returns to normal quickly, and also it help in the faster removal of waste. So this is all about the chapter. Now your homework is write down the exercise in your notebook and learn that. Thank you.